Oh, y'all there? My bad, I'm sorry, don't let me keep y'all waiting. Somebody told me the other day in my comment section, they said, man, when you go live or whenever you start your videos, especially when you go live, don't wait and let people get in the room. Don't say, oh, we're going to wait and let some people get in the room. We're going to let people get in the building. No, he said, don't do that. It makes you look unprofessional. He said, so when you know you're going live, even if it's live, you hit that button, you start that video like how you're supposed to start a video. Hit it right, because when people come back to watch it, you want your video to be watchable. You want it to be received in the manner that you put it out there. All right, so I'm going to take advice from that guy. We're going to start this thing off from the top. Hello, everybody out there in the world. I am the homie No Cash. Yep, the one and only. If there's another, he's the phony, because y'all already know me, man, and I'm sick of explaining it. I ain't got to explain it no more. We're going to get right on down to business, right on down to the topic. I know y'all saw the caption. Breaking news. No Cash breaks his silence about his wife. Ooh. I know that's spicy. That would get a lot of people to come up in here and click that button to find out what it is that's so breaking news that No Cash is breaking the silence about concerning his wife. All right, well, first of all, I'd like to say, hello, darling, Isha Graham McCullough, because I know you're going to see this video. How you doing? And I never discussed this with you, and this is my proof to my fans that I hadn't, because now I'm going to tell you just now. Don't be alarmed, sweetheart. I got you, okay? I want to tell y'all something that I recently found out. And when I found it out, it was much of a shocker to me. And I think this is going to shock a lot of you all too, especially my intellectuals out there. All right, bear with me. Okay. My wife took a trip to Florida, and to Miami, Florida. And this was about last week. And we planned it for her to get back to New York after she leave from Florida. And then in 2 or 3 days, we had it scheduled for her to turn around and fly right back down to South Carolina to me, so we can spend some time together down on the beach. Okay? Now, my wife don't like for me to tell our business on my social media, on my YouTube or any of my social media, right? But I'm going to do what I got to do anyway, because sometimes as a man, you got to put your foot down, you see? And I want y'all to know, my wife don't tell me what. Hey, look. No, I'm just playing, honey. Don't be alarmed. Listen. But for real, sometimes we do as men, we got to put our foot down and do what it is we feel like we know we want to do and need to do, but with the respect of what your wife has asked you to do. So with that being said, yeah, I'm going to let y'all know some things that I probably shouldn't, but it's for a good reason, darling. So you just bear with me, okay? And I would never, you trust and believe, I would never put any of our personal business out there, okay? Winky wink. All right? Now look, my wife took a trip, and we planned for her to come from Florida back to New York and stay there for about like a couple of days, and then she was going to fly out and come to me so we could spend some time together. And everything went smooth. Everything's paid for. Everything's lined up. We're excited. And she's leaving the airport in Miami. And as she's leaving, they give her a piece of paper. And the piece of paper reads, I'm going to show it to y'all on the phone if I can. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm going to show it to y'all. Let me come show you something. See right there, it says, welcome to New York State. New York State Traveler Health Form. Y'all see that? Now watch this. I'm letting y'all see the screenshot that my wife sent me. And y'all know she don't like me talking our business. So I just got to get this out and get to the point before I get in trouble. No, I'm just playing, but I got a heavy foot now. When I put it down, I put it down. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, a little sidebar. I know my wife don't like me to talk our business, but guess what? When I'm talking my business, that includes her, I can talk my business. Now, I can't expose any of her business, and y'all don't be asking me about my wife's business, because y'all going to get me in trouble. But keep in mind, I will tell y'all a little something sometimes, because, you know, I'm only human. We just don't listen. I'm hard-headed, okay? Now, what I want to get back to is this letter. My wife sent me this, right, as she's at the airport. And she said, honey, you ain't going to believe this. And she called me and she said, did you see that thing I just sent you? I said, no. And she began to try to explain it to me. So I went and I looked. Now, here's what it reads, y'all. I couldn't read it there. It's too small. It says, welcome to New York State. New York State Traveler Health Forum. In response to increased rates of COVID-19 transmission in certain states within the United States and to protect New York's successful containment of COVID-19, the state has issued a travel advisory for anyone entering New York from a state that has a significant degree of community-wide spread of COVID-19. If you have traveled from within one of the designated states with significant community spread, you must undertake a precautionary quarantine when you enter New York for 14 days from the last days you were in a designated state. This does not apply to any individual passing through a designated state for a limited duration. In other words, less than 24 hours. Through the course of travel or essential workers as outlined below. Winky, winky. Essential workers get a pass. This don't apply to essential workers. Okay, so now pay attention, y'all. For a list of states that meet the criteria for required quarantine due to the significant community transmission, www.corona.health.newyorkgov/COVID-19-travel-advisory. This is based upon a 7-day rolling average of positive tests in excess of 10% or number of positive cases exceeding 10 per 1,000 residents. Upon entering New York, if you are a traveler and do not have a suitable dwelling for your 14-day quarantine period, you must find appropriate accommodation at your own cost. If you are at your own cost, you must find appropriate accommodation for 14 days at your own cost. Pay attention, people. All right. If you are a NYS resident returning from travel and do not have appropriate accommodations for quarantine, please call your local health department. And it gave the www.health barcode. But needless to say, I just want to show you guys what they're doing here. And then it says, in the last 14 days, have you been in one of the states designated as having significant community spread? Yes or no? You check. List the state. You check. List date in state. Additional states. Last dates. How did you travel into New York? Select and apply. Private vehicle, public, train, check air travel, ship, however. If air travel, airline, flight number, seat number, destination, address, name, state, zip. Are you following me? This is what you would have to fill out, or better yet, wife, honey, excuse me for telling our business a minute here, but this is very educational. I hope you won't be mad at me, okay? Just let me slide, okay? This right here is the epitome of controlled movement. And you guys might not know what I mean by controlled movement. And it may be a good or a bad thing. That's not what I'm talking about here. This was very shocking to me that me and my wife made plans that I was going to see my wife actually this week. But because of this new rule, law, bylaw, whatever you want to call it, this new endeavor that Cuomo in New York is doing, Governor Cuomo, is causing people to have to come back to the state of New York and quarantine for 2 weeks before they can even leave the state again. Now watch this. If you leave the state again and come to another state again, same things apply. So, watch this. This was actually sent to me probably about 4 or 5 days ago. So I knew of this 4 or 5 days ago, and I'm sitting here like, wow, they got laws and stuff set into play that's hindering me from getting to see my wife when I want to see my wife, or hindering my wife from getting to see her husband when she want to see her husband. Do y'all understand what this means? Man, listen. All right, let's go to the next thing. After my wife sent me this, showing me how they were conditioning themselves to be able to get in touch with the people and be able to know who was leaving where and how, right? This is how, right here. This paper that my wife had. Now watch this. On yesterday, I'm on my social media at kNOw This Politics. And it's a site that I ascribe to or subscribe to. And yesterday they was live, and this is what the title reads. Cuomo tells Trump to keep federal forces out of New York. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo holds a press briefing on the latest coronavirus developments in the state earlier this week. Cuomo announced that the travel advisory for New York State has been expanded to 31 states, requiring any travelers coming in from over half the country to self-quarantine for 14 days. This comes as cases are increasing in at least 40 states across the country. Whereas New York State and other parts of the Northeast are reporting fewer cases, Cuomo is also expected to discuss President Trump's recent threats to send federal law enforcement into New York City to combat crime. I'm going to read that line again. This comes as cases are increasing in at least 40 states across the country, whereas New York State and other parts of the Northeast are reporting fewer cases. Cuomo is also expected to discuss Cuomo is also expected to discuss President Trump's recent threats to send federal law enforcement into New York to combat crime. The governor told reporters yesterday that he spoke with Trump directly, and the two came to an agreement that the federal forces would not be sent to the state. Cuomo said that the state would be able to handle any public safety emergencies in the city if necessary, noting that it had yet to rise to that level. And they went live and it was talking and so forth and so on and blah, 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 blah. But what we don't realize that is happening here is they're about to control movement, us. We're not going to be able to move as willingly as we used to. It's not going to be as easy for us to go from state to state as we used to. If y'all don't pay attention right now, it's happening right before our eyes. The fear mongering that they're pushing to the women and the females, whether what race, it doesn't matter the race, because a lot of females are just scared. And that scaredness, whether it's being a mask or the COVID or whatever fear they're pushing, if the fear works upon you or works on you, you are a part of the force that's going to help them be able to implement laws, bylaws, and things that's going to actually make life harder on us, the citizens. Whether you're traveling in car, whether you're traveling on bike, motorbike, whether you're traveling by airplane or whatever, it's going to be hard to maneuver from state to state in the near future. You see it right now, starting with my wife. Last week, I knew it 5 days ago. Bothered my head so much I didn't know how to do the video because I don't want any flack or kickback from the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that. I don't want any kickback from saying anything that I don't really know. So I had to sit with this. I had to wait. And yesterday I ran into just what I needed to see. Now they're using this thing and they're saying crime, right? President Trump is he sent the federal agents to Chicago already. So now they're saying, okay, Cuomo is talking and discussing with Trump about not sending the federal agents to New York because of the COVID-19 hold that they got on the COVID-19 spread. They got a hold on it in New York, supposedly. But watch this. If they can tell the feds to don't come for crime, you know, he called the president to tell the president to tell the feds to don't come because of, I mean, and they need them now probably. Of course, he just said the crime rate is not that bad yet, but they could need them, right? This is New York we're talking about. But Cuomo had a conversation with President Trump, and they negotiated on not sending the federal agents to New York City because of the hold that they have on the COVID-19. Wow, that's power. If they can tell the feds they don't come, what you think about you and I, regular old people that got family there or friends there, or just want to just go there because it's our free will and we are free to do what we would like to do. So we thought, are we really free? Ask yourself these questions. This is not my channel, but I just feel like it goes here. Shouts out to, I'm just here to make you think with this video. Because listen, if we don't pay attention to the way things is going in politics, with the you know, campaigns, for presidential campaigns, even the state campaigns, and I want to take a brief minute right here real fast. I'm not political at all. I'm not into politics. I barely voted in my life, right? And that might be sad, good, or bad. I don't know. But I have a friend who is a dear friend to me. His name is Brian Braddock. He's like my brother. This guy has helped me more than anybody since I've been home from prison in the past 9 years. And I've only known him for 2 of those years. I am not a Republican nor a Democrat. But I will say, as I learned and gained a little bit more insight as politics and how it works and about Republicans and Democrats, I choose not to be a part of any of those parties. But I made up my own party. I am a part of the Independent Righteous Society Party. That's IRS. Independent Righteous Society Party. That means anybody who's running, who's standing strongly for righteousness, on their 10 toes, standing strongly for righteousness, whether it's a white man, whether it's a black man, or a green man, or a brown man, or a blue man, they gonna have my vote. And that's who I will be willing to inspire and encourage others to vote for. And not because of them being Democratic or Republican. Because I'm not an elephant nor a donkey. I'm not an elephant nor a jackass. Okay? But shouts out to my brother Brian Braddock, man. He's running for mayor. This guy came a long way. I witnessed it myself. 2 years of me and him learning each other. He and I learning each other. We spent a week together, homeless, on the streets, in a town that we didn't know nobody there, and I never been there in my life. Augusta, Georgia. Shouts out to Augusta. We was homeless 7 days together because he wanted to figure out more about homelessness so that he could be a better advocate for it here in Florence, South Carolina, as the executive director of a homeless ministry, the House of Hope, here in Florence, South Carolina. Now, what person do you know wants to be so close to the issue or the problem that they are willing to come down from their position and go and dwell there for a week to gather information, realistic data, so that he can use to make life better for homeless people where he lives? Hot damn a bear. If that ain't the person that needs to be the mayor, I don't know who it is. So I just want to give him this plug right here because I didn't have time to do it yet. I've been going through things in my life. I got a lot of trials and tribulations, which is no excuses. My motto for 2021 is no excuses, no complaints. Regardless of what, we got to get it done, y'all. So I apologize, Brian. I should have been did it. We got a lot of things coming to help you with your campaign, brother. You just stay tuned, strap on your seatbelt, and get ready, because the best is yet to come for you. But y'all, if you're here in Florence, South Carolina, and you're going to vote, you need to vote for this guy, man. This is the best guy for the problem. He's had his own problems in his life. He don't hide the issues in his life. He exposes his issues and his adversities just like I do. And my thing is, my guy has been through some things and got through some things. And people that has been through something and get through something are the people who you would like to take advice from, because they are the ones who are more equipped to give you the best information. For instance, if you are trying to go to New York and you were inquiring for someone to give you directions, wouldn't it be better to take directions from someone who has already gone to New York instead of people who's never been? You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, this guy's very in touch with the struggle. I mean, I can't tell y'all he missed a meal or nothing, because when I met him, he told me he never missed a meal. You see that stomach he got? Well, no, you can't see the stomach, but y'all will see. I tell him he need to work on it, and we're going to work on it. But he ain't never missed a meal, but the guy know the struggle all too well. And a lot of times when you have been close to problems, struggles, issues, and situations, you tend to be the best person to find solutions for those problems. And I'm not saying my guy here is the best person running, because I do have respect for Miss Teresa too as well. And I would love to see her be successful, right? But unfortunately, in this politic game that we are playing here, there's only one winner. And that's why I don't play games, y'all. I quit school because of recess. You see? And let me tell you a quick lesson about why I don't play games and why I don't play the politics and why I'm voting for my brother here, why I decided to go public with it. And yes, he is a Republican. And I told you I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat. But let me tell you why I don't play games. When you play games, that puts me against you. And in the design of a game, it's designed for somebody to lose and for somebody to win. Now, I choose not to play games because I feel like everybody who's going to be on my team is winners already. And I don't have to be against anyone. It doesn't have to be me versus you. Because watch this. I don't want to deal in verses. I want to deal with the universe. Don't let that go over your head. I don't deal in verses. That's man-made. I deal in the universe. One verse. And if we all are on one accord, in harmony, love, and peace, we can speak one voice. We'll have one team, and we'll have one goal. But if we play games, and it's you against me, or Chicago against Detroit, or the Bulls against y'all get what I'm saying? Mike Tyson against Roy Jones. By the way, the fight's coming up in September, and I'm going to see that one. But even in any competition, I don't play games. I believe in friendly competition. I believe in pushing somebody to do better. But we don't have to have a winner and a loser. But unfortunately, in the games that is played today, and in politics, that's what's going on. But my brother here has made it known that Teresa is from Florence, South Carolina. Miss Teresa, salute to you. And he is from South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina. Salute to Brian. He went to her, and I saw it with my own eyes. He said, Teresa, I'm running with you or against you, but I'm glad that I'm running against you, and I want you to know that. And I'm probably saying this a little bit too early, but I'm going to go ahead and say it because I heard it with my own ears. He said, I want you to know that whether you or I win during the election, he said it's a win for Florence, South Carolina, and I'm rooting for you. Well, that's powerful. The man running too now. Anybody playing games want to win. So that means you want to beat your opponent. That's the objective. That's the mind frame that they gave us when they put us against each other. You have to beat another person. You have to conquer the other person. So somebody got to lose. When I don't like that ideology. But I'm voting for my brother because this is my brother. He helped me in my trying times. He helped me when no one else in my family could help me or did help me. I didn't have friends that reached out to help me as much as this guy did. And I'm not going to say he was the only person, but out of 2 years of me being home for 9 years, this guy has helped me in a tremendous way more than anyone that I know. And I met him because I looked at a piece of newspaper when I was in the store buying something, and he was made the front paper for helping with the homeless. And I reached out to this man to see what I could do with him to be an advocate for homelessness together. And from that conversation, he established a friendship with me and invited me out to breakfast. And from that day, he said he don't want to do any work with me doing anything until he figure out why am I still homeless with all of this talent, with all of this YouTube fame and all of this success. And he's the executive director of a homeless ministry, and we both are so much differently the same. Meaning he had 4 felonies, I got 4 felonies. He is a recovering addict, a drug addict. I am a reformed drug dealer. We both are so similar, but yet so different. But he was the only person that could see through what society tried to say I was and what the society depicted me to be, and he saw who I really was because he took time to get to know me. And now we're friends. And guess what? Whether I'm a Republican or a Democrat, I'm rooting for my friend. I want my friend to win. I'm supporting my friend like my friend supported me in life, and he wanted me to win. And now he's still getting with me, and we're doing great things together. I'm about to help with his campaign, and he's still got his hands in on my life, because a long time ago when he met me 2 years ago, he told me, he said, when you give someone some help or giving someone a couple of dollars here and there, that ain't really helping someone. That's giving them a blessing. But when you help someone, it's when you get down in the rut with them and you don't stop until they get up out of that rut on your back. And that's how you help someone. And let me let y'all know something. The man ain't gave me not one brown cent. Well, I could say he gave me a couple of dollars, a few dollars. He took me out to lunch a lot of times. But anyway, our relationship ain't built upon money, y'all. When your opportunity is based upon when your respect is based upon a dollar amount, that's the wrong person to be around. And so we have established a friendship that we know is true, whether he's white and I'm black, or pardon me, whether he's Caucasian and I'm Native, Indian, African American, melanated, whatever you choose to call it. We see eye to eye on a lot of things. We share the same struggles. We know that we are differently the same. And I'm helping my brother. So if you're from Florence, South Carolina, and you're going to vote Brian Braddock, because this guy's slogan for politics is progress, not politics. And his other one is better together. That means Caucasians and African American, Native Indian, African American, melanated people. All of us. So if that's true, I just ask y'all to put him to the test, right? Because we need people like this that can help govern us during times that are detrimental like these. When the government and the laws are doing so much stuff that's above our heads that we don't really understand. And a lot of times we sit around like deer in headlights and we don't know what's going on. We just sit there. And in the headlights, in the road, you know, as a deer, you get hit by the car. Boom! I just want somebody that can best help us. And who can best help us best is ourselves. So my thing is educate yourself, right? You know, we got to do better, y'all. Get out, vote. I don't play games, no. And I don't do politics, no. But if we sit around and do nothing, we can't complain when things are happening to us. Like the borders are being locked down. Controlled movement. People telling you to stay in the house. And you just got to listen. When you buy your own house, you own it. You own your land. You have a freedom that you could do what you should be able to want to do, whatever you want to do in your private space, but people are controlling you there. Hot damn up there. I know I was all over the place with this video, but it really was me basically letting y'all in on my wife's business, breaking news and breaking the silence on my wife. The silence is, I'm very mad that I didn't get a chance to see my wife this week. Well, not mad. Better choice of words. I'm disappointed. And I wanted to share with you guys, instead of me taking my disappointment, my trial, my tribulation, my negatives, and letting it, you know, bother me, I took it and got the lesson from it. And then I wanted to come and share with you guys what is to come for us so we can be prepared. Because I'm telling you, man, there's a lot more these people got in store. But we got to be attentive. And we got to stay prayed up. Once again, I am the homie No Cash, and I'm signing off. with a big 10-4. Over and out. Peace and love. Y'all stay well and be blessed. And remember, the best is yet to come. Hey, baby, I'll call you in a minute. I love you. Y'all be good.
Who?